At the heart of any civilized nation lies a social contract, a simple understanding that binds people together. You get up early, you work, you pay your taxes, you play by the rules, you raise your children to know right from wrong, and you obey the law. In return, the state owes you something basic and non-negotiable, a country that still exists, borders that mean something, streets that are safe, a home that is recognizably yours. If the state cannot guarantee that, then it has broken its contract with its own people. But just look at what the legacy parties have done to Britain. Take a look at our streets, our towns, our cities. Our borders have been left open and undefended. Knife crime stalks entire neighborhoods. English girls were raped on an industrial scale while those in authority looked the other way. Tens of thousands of men have arrived on our shores and been given hospitality at the taxpayers' expense. Ladies and gentlemen, that social contract has not merely been broken, it has been shattered. Under a reformed government, His Majesty's Parliament will be sovereign once again, and the rights of the great British people will reign supreme. This system is so broken, so morally bankrupt, that committing serious violent crimes can actually improve a foreign national's likelihood of being granted asylum. I want to repeat that. Committing brutal crimes can make it easier for illegal migrants to stay in Britain. There are countless examples. A Zimbabwean paedophile, a man jailed for over 5 years for unspeakable child sex offences. Was he removed and sent home? No, he was allowed to stay because judges cited Article 3 of the ECHR. They argued he would face hostility in his home country. We saw an Albanian drug lord jailed for running an illicit cannabis factory avoid deportation after judges ruled under Article 8 that kicking him out would deprive his daughter of a male role model. Think about the moral sickness of that decision. A convicted, organised drug kingpin held up as an essential, protected role model by British judges. A Ugandan gang member who clubbed a man to death in the back of an ambulance. A man who received a life sentence for murder successfully won the right to stay in Britain to protect his mental health. His lawyers successfully used Article 3 of the ECHR to argue it would be inhumane to send him back to a country with poorer mental health facilities than our NHS. He barbarically took a life, and the British taxpayer is now forced to cater for his mental wellness. How can anyone hear all this and argue that Britain is not broken? How many more people must die at the hands of those who should never have been in our country in the first place? How many more victims' families must be devastated in this way when their rights are placed beneath those of criminals? The answer is none. Vote reform, we will leave the ECHR and end this madness. Our country is being invaded. Now, I know many in the establishment gasp at that word. They may well clutch their pearls in the television studios. But the dictionary definition of invasion is an incursion by a large number of people in an unwanted way. Almost 200,000 people have broken into our country across the English Channel over the last 8 years. More than stormed the beaches of Normandy on D-Day. Make no mistake, as Home Secretary, I will end and indeed reverse this invasion. Because the patience of the British people is now exhausted. We're unwilling to accept that Britain's borders should be open and undefended. Unwilling to accept that Britain must surrender its sovereignty to foreign courts. And yes, this is a national emergency. That's why upon winning the next election, a reformed government will launch an emergency programme to track down, detain and deport all illegal migrants in the United Kingdom. Operation Restoring Justice will be the most transformative policy of our lifetimes. Now, some have already called our plan draconian. Our response? Britain is being invaded. Hundreds of thousands of men continue to arrive on our beaches illegally. Our plan is the only appropriate response to a national security emergency. It will immediately stop the boats by sending a clear message that being in our country illegally now has an ironclad consequence: immediate detention and removal. Deportation is the ultimate deterrent. As Prime Minister, Nigel Farage will direct every instrument of state to ensure illegal migrants are removed from this country. We will pass the Illegal Migration Mass Deportation Act. And the draftsmen who worked on this legislation were given a clear instruction that when Nigel is Prime Minister, there will not be a judge in the country that will be able to prevent flights from leaving. We will leave the ECHR. We will create a legal obligation for the Home Secretary to deport all those in this country illegally and disapply all international treaties that are used to keep illegal migrants in this country. And we will pass a law that makes clear that if you come to this country illegally, you will never be granted asylum. End of story. We will create a new agency, UK Deportation Command, which will have just one mission: to track down and detain those in this country illegally. We will rapidly build detention capacity. No chance of bail, no chance of absconding. Detention will mean deportation. We will embark on the most audacious charter flight operation since World War II, ramping deportation flights to 5 departures every single day. And to guarantee success, His Majesty's Royal Air Force will keep a Voyager aircraft on standby as a hot spare. So even if a plane has mechanical issues, flights will not be stopped. Deportations will not be delayed. Return agreements will be secured. Countries of origin will take back their nationals. And ladies and gentlemen, if a country refuses, we will stop issuing visas to that country. And today I can announce that based on overstaying rates and illegal boat arrivals, we will freeze the issuance of visas for countries including Pakistan, Somalia, Eritrea, Syria, Afghanistan and Sudan. We will not consider lifting these bans until they comply and take back their citizens who are in our country illegally. Because borders are not simply lines drawn on a map. They define a country. They are the perimeter of our national economy, the boundaries of our security, and the guardians of our culture.
Jelajahi cara baru mendapatkan informasi. Download Metro TV Extend sekarang.